Mr. Beast is a demonic, evil person who should be cancelled immediately. That's something you could only hear on Twitter.com. Picture this real quick, right? One of the most charitable creators in the entire world, who has an entire channel dedicated to philanthropy, which means helping people, especially those in need, right? You know, people who can't help themselves. Someone who routinely tries to do good in this world by, you know, planting trees, cleaning the ocean, buying food for people who can't afford it, changing people's lives with life-changing amounts of money, and doing good deeds when nobody's really forcing him to, or nobody really expects it of him. But somehow, by doing all this and documenting it online, people have found a way to get mad. Here we got Mr. Lolo saying, there's something so demonic about this that I can't even articulate what it is. Alright, so we got 1,000 blind people see for the first time. This is Mr. Beast's latest video where he cures blindness for a bunch of people. He pays for this life-changing surgery for all of them. They all get to see clearly for the first time, and it's really wholesome, something that is an amazing deed, makes you feel all warm inside, and somehow they found a way to call this demonic. 100 out of 1,000 people cured. They're trying to put the screenshot to demonstrate that Mr. Beast has turned this into a game or something that shouldn't be respected, and he's just taking advantage of these people to further his own career. People don't realize it doesn't matter if you're posting this online, if you're genuinely changing so many lives. By doing this, he inspires his fan base to do the same. I'm sure there's plenty of rich people watching Mr. Beast, okay? Because his range, his cast, his net is so wide. So there's plenty of rich people watching Mr. Beast, and this could inspire them to do some charity. In fact, it's inspired me to donate at least some portion of my money just so I can see smiles on people's faces, right? And it's to inspire everybody. It's like doing good deeds, right? I'd also like to point out how he says, I can't even articulate what it is, because there's nothing wrong about this, okay? You can't articulate it because you have no shred of logical thinking and only find flaws in people because you're a flawed human being yourself. Some people think I'm mad at him. I don't care about him at all. In fact, I think he's a fascinating and bizarre person. I don't know what to tell you. If a single rich guy paid for life-changing surgery for us, and it's easy to do this, doesn't set off any kind of alarm in your head. Sure, you can be mad about society, the fact that some people can't afford this life-changing surgery to fix their vision themselves. We don't live in an ideal society where everything is cherries and roses and everybody gets paid the exact same amount of money and everybody has a living wage and a living condition. There's people in third world countries who get no food, you know, or starving, who are homeless. All of this stuff does exist. Mr. Beast is one of the rich guys trying to correct this whole thing. He wasn't just born rich or anything like that. If you see his journey on YouTube, the whole 8 years, he's been building this up for ages and ages and ages. And he's just trying to make the best content ever and still do good while inspiring other people as well. I don't know how you ever see this as a bad thing. It's ridiculous. A rich YouTuber with loads more money than he will ever need actually gives back in all his videos, and people still find a way to complain. I'm in your walls. Of course, you couldn't respond with any sort of logical counter argument to that at all. This guy thinks that at the bare minimum, Mr. B should just distribute all his wealth, give it to people like him who do nothing but complain all day. He has no obligation to do this. But what other people are doing this, right? There's extremely rich YouTubers out there who'll just hoard all their money. I feel like we should be grateful to Mr. Beast, right? Okay, so Brandon Bird says, because no element of it would happen in a healthy society. If society is not perfect, why would you dog on Mr. Beast and call him demonic for trying to make it perfect? How does helping people turn into a bad thing? I don't understand. What is he supposed to do? Leave them blind and say, maybe he should be like you, honestly, right? Instead of actually helping people, because we know you won't take a single dollar out of your bank account to actually help people, but you'll dog on people who actually do it. If society is broken and he's trying to fix it, how is he the bad guy? He's literally just trying to change people's lives, man. People would simply get surgery when they needed it. Neither misfortune nor acts of kindness wouldn't be paraded for views. And something I think is being undermarked on, you wouldn't need to be mega rich to do something good. You don't need to be mega rich to do something good. You can donate $1 right now, and that will make a somewhat significant difference. You can do good deeds for people. You can volunteer at a place and make food for homeless people or something like that. There's plenty of ways to volunteer, honestly. Also, this person says paraded for views. If you know anything about Mr. Beast, you'll realize that almost 100% sure that Mr. Beast made less money on that video than the amount of money he spent. So if you think this is all for like views and money or something like that, you're completely ridiculous. Sure, it's for views because that's one of the reasons you post on YouTube, to get a wider and wider reach. But the reasons he wants to get those views is so that he can help more people and create the best content ever. He's just a guy with a burning passion and lots of ambition trying to succeed in the world. Like, you're obviously really jealous about that. What do you mean paraded for views? Like, if he didn't post this online, that's one thing you could do as well. But I would argue it's actually better to post it online and inspire all these people. I can just say, from watching Mr. Beast's content, it's inspired me personally to be a better person. Because seeing someone ridiculously generously giving random people $1 million for no reason, and let's not act like that's an insignificant part of Mr. Beast's revenue, okay? $1 million is a lot of money to him, but he'll still give it out. It's a lot of money to anyone. You can be like, oh, he's worth $1 billion. Not really. Mr. Beast has routinely said he runs his channel, his main channel, at a loss. So paying for all those surgeries, I'm sure it costs more than how much he made from the video. He literally has his gaming channel and Reacts channel, which helps make all this money. And then he does this philanthropic acts or big budget ideas on his main channel or his philanthropy channel, which are at complete losses or barely break even. So it's ridiculous. You internet mother flippers are so miserable. Find something new to complain about every single day. It's so nuts. Now 1,000 people can cringe at his videos. I mean, you can argue, okay, whatever, Mr. Beast videos are cringe or something. Personally, it's not my taste. It's like, it's edited a lot. Sometimes you're just blown away by how incredible and giving he is and such a nice person. His content is next level. Let's be honest, all right? Somebody's posted this screenshot. Every heartwarming human interest story in America is like, he raised $20,000 to keep 200 orphans from being crushed in the orphan crushing machine, and then never ask why an orphan crushing machine exists or why you need to pay to prevent it from being used. People really acting like life is fair. Are you completely idiotic or something? Were you born without a brain cell or something? That could be possible because, as we know, life is not fair. Just because life is not fair, what does you complaining about it help anyone in any way? Everybody knows life is not fair. We literally have a random spawn point. Our parents are completely random, right? They could be crackheads or they could be people with good values. You can be born in a third world country or a first world country, like a developed country, and that will completely change your perspective. Your parents can have enough money to fund you through college, or they can't, and then you'll have to take student loans. It is a bit of a lottery. Obviously, you have some level of control after that when you're an adult or something like that. Just complaining about it and not doing anything about it is the most pissing off thing to hear when somebody's actually trying to make a difference, right? Ridiculous. When I give 1,000 people a 10-minute surgery that cures their blindness, my YouTube video goes viral. When I ask why a 10-minute surgery isn't provided to anyone who needs it, they call me a communist. I know why, because people are blind. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. You think that pointing out the obvious does anything? Everybody knows this. How are we supposed to fix this? Take every single person's wealth and divide it absolutely equally to everybody on earth? You can't do that, okay? It doesn't work in the real world. Absolute moron, man. He just makes people dance on camera for basic human needs so he can make millions. It's weird. How many lives have you saved, by the way? How many people's blindness have you cured? Have you created food shelters that have fed tons and tons of people, the entire families? Have you changed people's lives? Are people eternally grateful to you? Who's gonna remember you when you die? Nobody gives a shit about you. You're a pathetic loser Twitter user that spreads nothing but negativity into this world. Have you entertained anyone? Have you made anyone's day? You know how the amount of kids that come up to Mr. Beast and say, you've literally changed my entire life. You've inspired me to become a better person. Absolutely nuts, man. This just pissed me off. So we're at a point where we're giving life-changing surgeries for clout and not to help people. Just because it's for clout doesn't mean it doesn't also help people, moron. If Mr. Beast was actually a philanthropist, he'd do this without the need for clout and in a way that would actually make a dent in his fortune. You do realize the way he made his fortune is by posting this stuff online. The very first sponsor deal he did, whatever, he got like 5 or 10K, he immediately gave it away to a homeless person. He's insane. No sane person would ever do that. Your first $5,000 or $10,000 you made, immediately give entirety of it, not a portion of it, the full thing to a homeless person, because he's a genuinely good guy, a giving person, and he's really smart with YouTube. The reason he posted online is that so he grows bigger and he's able to do even more projects. If he didn't post this video right now, one, tons of people wouldn't be inspired. Two, he wouldn't be able to do similar projects in the future. This will grow his brand, give him more attention, give him more money, so he can do this stuff again. I'm getting flamed in the replies. I thought we liked rich people redistributing their wealth. It's gross because the real issue is that the procedure is so simple, but for some reason unaffordable. Absolutely ridiculous. So yes, he's doing a good thing on one hand, but people shouldn't need to be begged to a multimillionaire philanthropist to be access to the healthcare they need. Okay, so none of the people in that video were begging. Mr. Beast was just doing it out of the goodness in his heart. In the video, he's explicitly like, this is a 10-minute surgery that could change people's lives forever, and they just can't afford it. He's just saying how it is. He's saying the facts. He's accepting the cruel nature of the world and trying to fix it. You are also aware of this fact that it's a 10-minute surgery and they can't afford it. You have done absolutely nothing about it because one, you're not smart enough to become rich enough to be able to do that. And two, this is how you spend your time complaining on twitter.com about people who are actually helping other people and changing lives. Can you imagine how grateful those people would be to Mr. Beast? They'd pretty much eternally be in debt. Vision is an insane thing, obviously. Twitter users when a rich person does good things with their money. In fact, they should be like all the other rich people. Just hoard it, completely ignore all the problems in the entire world, and live your life and buy extra 5 Lambos, right? Why don't you just buy Lambos instead of helping people, right? Lolo, altruism, is this demonic? Only on twitter.com, bro. Absolutely ridiculous.